Hey smokers, Draga1 here. Today we're going to be doing something that has been apparently a long time coming. In fact, I think it was just one dude who pretty much just spammed every single one of my videos, or at least a large quantity of them, with the phrase install Ubuntu, or Ubuntu is what I'm probably going to call it by mistake, is to install that on an SSD in the Mac Pro 2006. Now, I'm not exactly one who caves to demands like this. It's just kind of convenient and funny that I happen to be doing this. Apparently, there's some new stuff that I forgot the name of, which Steam has come out with. Either it uses Wine or it uses something that's similar to Wine. We're going to learn about that in a little bit to make it so that you can play literally any game on Steam that has a Windows version on Linux, on Ubuntu. Now, of course, this doesn't work totally great. It's not perfect. And by this point, this is not exactly news. But we're going to go ahead and install it, the latest version of Ubuntu. Got the 18.04 right here. We're going to put it on an SSD here. And I guess let's get started. Now, since this was the computer that I had some problems with when it came to formatting the correct drive, before I get started here, I'm going to remove all the drives. I already actually have the primary drive here removed, but there is a Windows SSD in here as well. I'm going to get rid of that. It's a Glowway SSD. And we're going to be putting in a much cheaper, probably on the same level of cheapness as this. This is actually a metal case there. The SanDisk one is actually the plastic one. Whoops. And so this one is the one we're going to use today. Now, we'll pull out this other one there. Now, I do have some foam in there. And no, it still has not caught fire yet. Someone, I don't know why I never let that go. There was one dude who said, you got to take that foam out of there. That's going to catch fire, dude. It's not safe. Well, I mean, that was 4 years ago I did that. And, it's fine. Although I will admit I don't use it very often. Maybe if I use it all the time, it would ignite right up. But I think I've said this before. I've actually taken a blowtorch to that same kind of foam. It won't really ignite very well. Kind of just melts. Anyway, here we go. This is our SSD here. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see it. Now, it feels like the box itself, it feels like the box was re-shrink wrapped as if it was like a return or something. Apparently it goes this way. So that's the packaging. This is also metal. What's going on? Now this says KingShare. Can't really even tell if this is in focus. So this is KingShare, not King Spec. This is KingShare. Yeah, it's just another China SSD, I guess. Okay, so we're going to be installing this in there. Okay, so it went into its SATA port so solidly, or it's in there wrong, that I don't even need the foam. I don't need it at all. So, okay, that works for me. This was the drive I formatted. It's a 120 gig no brand. Now we're ready to boot it up to this. As you can see, we got the, oh god. We've got the monitor right here. Won't mouse click open my ass. Try it again. Okay, now it really won't have much choice other than to boot off of the CD, hopefully. Unless the CD drive's bad in this. Huh? It tried to eject itself. Don't know what's going on. But I have an idea, and I think I'm an idiot. Okay. What the fuck? So I thought I was being retarded. I have the 64-bit version and the 32-bit version because I knew that back on these old things, you gotta keep some things 32-bit. Memory's kind of fading now on whether that matters for this, but in the long run, and the most important thing now is that now neither one of these are working, or at least it doesn't want to try and boot off of them. So I guess I can try and run it off a USB flash drive. I don't see why the 2006 Mac Pro would object to that, but if it turns out that it's a problem with the optical drive, then that would bypass that. Okay, let's do it. We've got a flash drive. Okay, so again, I know you can hold down the mouse button to open the CD tray without having to do this, but it's not fucking working. So right here is a copy of Windows XP. This is the operating system that Boot Camp first supported. And that button worked, that was funny. So if there is a Boot Camp compatible disk in the drive, it'll show up here as Windows. Now that shows up. That shows up! God damn it. So that means this is trash, and so is my fucking flash drive. So that means that Ubuntu is just fucked. Can I not run that? In fact, it's frozen. Okay. So I mean, it'll get into Windows setup. We can do that. Let's install Windows XP again! No, we're not doing that. God damn it. So I think the only way I can get Ubuntu actually installed on this thing, and I have done it before, back when it was like version 8 or something, I could do an older version, and guess what? Through my lack of paying attention or reading or being able to actually process text on a page, there is no 32-bit 1804. This is a copy of 16. So that means that it doesn't like 16 either. So how much further are we going to have to go back? I don't know. I have to go back a little ways. Or maybe I can install the older version and upgrade it to the latest. Let's just do that. Okay, so here's a version of 12.04, 64-bit, Ubuntu. Wow, that's not supposed to be able to happen. Hey, it sees it. But do I really want to go back that far? To 12 and I need to get to 18? Could I even install Steam on 12? I really don't know. Let me go dig up and see if I can find a 14. Well, I couldn't find a Ubuntu 14, but I found a Lubuntu 14. My calculations will probably be correct in thinking that it doesn't like Linux DVDs. So if it shows me something here, it doesn't like Linux DVDs, or at least not ones that are that new. See, there we go. So I can get a Ubuntu 14. Maybe. I don't actually know if this will be bootable. I can just because I can at least see something there. I'll try to get right into Ubuntu version 14, and then we'll see if we can upgrade it. See if Steam will just run. I don't know. So it should come as no surprise that we not only got Ubuntu up in its live CD, but it turns out that if you look right here, there's no other devices. It's just a flash drive that I left in the back. That's also, wait a minute, not even that. It can't even see anything else? It can't even see the flash drive, ladies and gentlemen. So here we can get a little bit more detail. I really don't like this filming with this monitor because it kind of sucks. It does detect not only the CD drive, but the Kingston Data Traveler. The rest of this shit is just RAM disks that it put there when I'm booting off the live CD. It can't see my SATA drive. Why the hell not? Well, I don't know. That's a problem. Possibly how I put the SSD in there, maybe it didn't go in quite right. It's felt like it was pretty solid. I don't think I jammed it in there. Fuck. Okay, so I made a 32-bit version of Ubuntu 14 on the flash drive, and I've plugged it in here, and as you can see, it's detected. So that's good. Now, can we boot off of it? That's the only question. Well, it doesn't appear to have found, I mean, you can see the mouse. It does not appear to have found the flash drive with 14 on it. So that means I gotta burn one. Now, you got 12, you've got 14, and you got 16. 16, I believe, requires a DVD, and so does 18. So we gotta go with 14 because it's the only thing that'll fit on a CD. So I'll burn another CD, and we'll see if we can finally get this install on the road. What, 2 hours later? Ubuntu is actually much more lighter weight and smaller, and that's why 14 fits on a CD. 14 Ubuntu actually takes about over a gig, just over a gig. Apparently 12 didn't, because this is on a CDR. This is a CDR. So I'm going to have to go with 12. Why am I going to have to go with 12? Because it won't boot off a flash drive, it won't boot off a DVD. This is the only way I can get it to work. I haven't even gotten started yet. This is all the stuff we've gone through so far. Can't do 1804, 1604, presumably because they're 64-bit, and because it won't boot DVDs. We got 1404, not sure if it was 32-bit. I think it'll still boot a 64-bit CD, but installing it and actually using it might fuck up. So it seems like through all these trials here that the 12.04 CD is the way to go. What I had to do a little bit of scrounging around because the 12.04 that's currently available as the latest version is actually 12.4.5. And I had to get 0.0 because that's the only version that will still fit on a CD. And it's right here. Okay, so here comes our try or install Ubuntu. I'm going to click install, and we're going to hope that it can frickin' find the internal drive. It doesn't detect the internal drive, so that means my SSD is bad, which would explain my it was returned to Amazon packaging, or I put it in there wrong. Can I Occam's razor this? Oh, I totally put it in there wrong. There we go. Okay, here we are again. Now let's try and click install Ubuntu this time. Oh, now we got a check mark. Yep, it was less explanation that I just fucked up. Occam's razor working for me. Alright, so it'll delete everything on the disk, even though there's nothing on there. It'll be a solid 120 gig. Install now. So this is where we wait for a long time. So there we are installing. This is going to take a little while, and then it's going to take an even longer time to install all the updates. So now we got some wait fest on our hands, so let's just wait. Oh, so install's complete already. That was fast. Well, let's see if it can actually successfully boot, though. If it can't, then we're fucked. So disk is out of the drive now. Now the startup disk isn't set, so it'll probably just sit there for a little bit. So to avoid that, I'm going to hold Option. And there it found Windows pretty much immediately, which is actually Linux. And shit, here we are already. And here we are, right on the desktop of 12.04.0, the first release of 12.04, I assume. So now I'll have to connect it to the network in order for it to start downloading all of the updates, which will take an ungodly amount of time. So we'll go to the update manager here. Now it says new Ubuntu release 14.04.5 available. It doesn't say 16. If I upgrade to 14, is that going to, then after I get there, will it give me this message for 16? I have no idea. But let's go ahead and click this. Trusty tar. Alright, so that's pretty simple, but I'm not going to do anything else until all of the updates are done, and then we'll try and get Steam running on it. Now this takes a while, so we'll see a little bit later. I guess it already downloaded and is going to start the upgrade. I don't give a shit. Duh. Aw, man, it was stuck on that box for like an hour. Shit. Jesus Christ. As you can see, no startup disk is set.
Where do I look? SATA 1, SATA 2, SATA 3, SATA 4, optical drive, USB 1, USB 2, USB 3, FireWire, FireWire 400. Oh, I found it. It was in SATA.
So now we should be on 1404. Checking for more updates. The software on this computer is up to date. However, Ubuntu 1604 is now available. Upgrade.
Oh, I'm gonna take the next step, boy.
Upgrade. Oh, yes. We're going to take it all the way, baby. Oh my god, I didn't click the button. Luckily, it's only been a couple minutes. So, yeah, there's some downsides to doing it. Start the upgrade again. We're going to get as far as we can, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. We're still on 1404. Oh, never mind. I guess it just went to sleep. Don't tell me I have to keep waking this thing up. Oh, God. Customized. Well, I haven't done shit. Maybe it's talking about what the last update did. Well, I dropped the mouse. Well, replace, I guess. I am watching this more like a hawk to make sure nothing goes wrong and it doesn't sit on a loading screen. Well, I'm sure glad it's giving me the option. If only it did more of this unattended. Sure. Unattended my bitch. What the fuck is this? I thought I was supposed to do this unattended. So many assumptions I've made. Well, remove. We need more room for games. What is this? There we go. Me, 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 nee, 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 nee. 6.5 feet away. Oh yeah. Redémarrer. Redémarrer maintenant. S'il vous plaît. Putain de Ubuntu. Holy shit, guys, look at this. We're making progress. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the end of the road. This is as far as we can go because there was no 32-bit release of 1804. So it looks like it already knew I wanted to look at the software updater. I don't think this is going to get me very far from what I just said. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Don't mind if I do. Well, I gotta say, this is... Well, I gotta say, this is probably the coolest... Well, I gotta say, this is gonna be the coolest name that Ubuntu has come up with yet. Alright. Upgrade. Let's do it. Apparently we can do 32-bit. Well, hold on, we're not there yet. Oh, we are, okay. Well, this is it. This is the final, guys. Let's see what happens. You guessed it. Another one of these. Lock screen disabled. Oh, well, that's a good idea, because it sort of got in the way last time. Now we're into the meat of it. It doesn't look like it's done yet, but it has changed the desktop wallpaper. How about that? Alright, the time has come. Ah, new login screen. It's always been on the left over here. Boom. Works differently from other versions. Okay. Okay. Looks pretty smooth still. J Galaxian. Okay, well, we're not going to mess around with all the fun stuff that's, oh, well, fuck it, let's just install it. Because if nothing else works, at least this will. Our task is to install Steam now. Now, if you look at Steam's website here, of course we have Linux support, but it says Ubuntu Linux latest version. It doesn't say 64-bit, but you know, with my luck, it probably will, and that's gonna stop us dead in our tracks, and we won't be able to do anything. So let's try and open this, and we'll install it. Nothing wrong so far. It's installing. All right, here's Steam. Moment of truth. Oh, apparently it did something up here. Well, it's updating, and we're on 32-bit, right? Fuck, I have no idea what's going on now, dude. Maybe when it finishes updating, we'll be screwed, and I won't actually be able to use it. Maybe it'll just be like, oh, no, 64-bit only, 64-bit only. Well, this is Steam launched and running, so I'll just go ahead and sign in and see if I can get a couple games downloaded. But first, before I do that, let's take a look at Steam's settings. Okay, so here it is, Steam Play. I can checkbox enable Steam Play for all titles, and it uses something called Proton to make that happen. So you can use Steam Play to test games in your library that have not been verified with a supported compatibility tool. So apparently there are some titles that are already Steam Play supported. Okay, well, I just realized I have kind of a lot of games on Steam, and it could be a while to figure out which ones are just Linux support already, which is actually an impressive amount. Already have Linux support. So trying to find the ones that aren't technically Linux but work perfectly enough to be Steam Play, that could take some time. I guess I could look that up. But anyway, let's just dive directly into an experimental mode. Use this tool instead of game-specific selections from Steam. So I think I'm just going to do enable Steam Play for all titles. And then I'll restart Steam. So what's a game that's definitely not on Mac, let alone Linux? Now, actually, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 actually is supported on the Mac platform, but by no means is it on the Linux platform. Now, surprisingly, mainstream games like Deus Ex Mankind Divided actually do have Linux support, but I can guarantee you that Call of Duty does not. So, what's a good place to start? Well, we can play Black Ops right now. Looks like it's already installed. No, it's actually in stream mode. We can stream it, but I don't want to stream it. I could have done that from a freaking Steam link, but I'm not going to do that. So we're going to try installing Black Ops. Now, Black Ops runs like crap on a computer newer than this, so I don't think it's going to be able to handle it so well. So, why am I trying Black Ops? Well, there is a separate version of Black Ops for the Mac platform. I don't know why I'm bringing up Mac into this. So, it shows that this is not some sort of multi-release where it somehow had a Linux version. They were splitting off the Mac version into a totally different publisher. I believe it was Aspire. So if they were going to do a Linux release, I'm assuming it would be fragmented off as well. So let's just try and install this. To be honest, I should probably try World at War and not Black Ops, but, you know, we want to try and push this to the limit. We're going to make it happen. So I'm going to install a couple other Call of Duty games and a couple other games that I know do not have Linux versions, and we'll come back when they're done. So this is what it looks like when Steam Play is enabled for all games. It says runs on this computer via Steam Play. You click on Steam Play, it just brings this thing up again. So go ahead and install. Dude, fuck yeah. Destiny. Well, that should be enough for now. Guess I'll come back in the morning when it's all downloaded. Okay, it's morning. Let's see where we're at here. And what the discs? Oh shit! I filled it up. Oh god damn it! Now I can't even download Duke Nukem 3D. And all night it was just sitting there. Well, the problem here is that we might run into problems running games if it turns out that our hard disk is full. So, the good news is that it completed all but 2 games. I still downloaded like 18 other games. Like, look at this. Look at all this. This all fit on a 128 gig drive. Home folder is 92 gigs. Local, share, Steam, Steam apps, common. So look at all this shit. And for some reason, Fear is like the biggest game. I don't understand how that's possible, but okay. Okay, so a lot of these games aren't for Linux, but some of them are. So if you take Half-Life 1, for example, I don't even know if this successfully finished downloading. We've got Half-Life 1 here. This one is actually supported on Linux, so we don't have to do the weird Steam Play emulation stuff. And immediately we're in. Let's just go training room because we can actually have gameplay there. As you can see, it works fucking flawlessly. So yeah, this runs booted up instantly here, and alright, so I'm gonna give that a pass. Okay, so the next normal test is to do another Valve game that is custom tailored their port to the Linux platform. Half-Life 2. Let's start it up. Well, the menu seems to be working okay. Now, I originally played Half-Life 2 on this computer back in the day when it was more of a new game, or closer to a new game, on boot camp, and it ran it just fine. And that was before the better video card. We've got a GT 8800, or an 8800. And as you can see, it's fine. A little bit of screen tearing because I didn't set the settings. But again, this is to be expected because this is what it's designed to look like. But the good news is I didn't have to mess with any Nvidia drivers or anything like I did last time on Linux. I think it just already, or Ubuntu. So I'm going to give that a solid pass. So thus far, if you play games that are designed for Linux, even if you got a 2006 Mac Pro, it's gonna work. How about a game that's not Valve, but still has a Linux version? Killing Floor is based on the Unreal 2.5 engine. It originally was a mod for Unreal Tournament 2004, which had a Linux version. So if this runs okay, then I mean that's that's to be expected. But at least it's not like the Valve magic messing with our head here. We're gonna see if this is actually real. It's 4:3 for some reason, but a little bit of an FPS drop there. Not a not a big deal at all. This game originally came out in 2009. Yeah, a little. It's not doing great, but I mean, this is now a very weak computer, so I don't have high hopes for how Black Ops is going to run. So, another good pass on that one. Now we have a game that came out in 2008, but probably has higher system requirements than Killing Floor. We got Left 4 Dead. Again, another, but it says runs on computers via Steam Play. Did they not make a Linux version of this? I thought they did. Well, I can tell you a game that they did not make a Linux version of, and that's this one. Now, the first game I'm going to play is hopefully going to be the easiest to run, because I've got a couple in here. Max Payne definitely did not. So, let's go ahead and try and run Max Payne via Steam Play. Using platform compatibility tool, please review the frequently asked questions. Okay. Now we're going to try and play our first Steam Play game. Oh, Max Payne doesn't say that it's running, so I don't think it worked. Okay, let's try Worms Reloaded. This does say it's running here, so that's an improvement over. I don't know if I'm supposed to see a Proton thing in here, or a wine thing, or something. So Worms Reloaded, it's probably running in the background. So I'm just going to restart. I'm going to just uninstall every game that doesn't work, because I'm running out of space. That actually may be why some of these games aren't working, because I just don't have any space anymore. So I'm going to just kill these. Okay, so now I should have at least 10 gigabytes free. So, what should I try next? There's this, like, totally unknown game that apparently is for Windows only. It's a top-down 2D hack and slash thing. literally probably nobody knows about it, but it should be a really simple 2D game, and I think it just crashed immediately. Let's try it again. Yep. No, see, it goes from running to, yeah, no. So how about Unreal Tournament 2004, the Windows version? I could get a Linux version, but we're going to do the Windows version. Crashes. Uninstall. How about another 2D game? Oh shit! Fuck yeah! So this works. This is fully functional here. Oh. It was a Linux game. Fuck. God damn it. No wonder it fucking worked. FarCry 1. And just crashing every single time. How about Top Gun? The game that's freaking awesome and no longer available on Steam. Nope. Uninstall. My camera stopped recording, which is not a bad thing because you haven't missed much. In fact, you've seen that my list here has been pruned down a little bit. Yeah, that's because I go to launch a game like this one, and it will just do that. It'll launch and then crash itself. They're all doing that, and so I'm now deleting them off the list. Oh, Left 4 Dead. Nothing. Okay, so I'm just going on installing. What doesn't work? Just Cause 2 doesn't work. Come on, installing. That's all. This is really all you've missed here. So, Black Ops. Is Black Ops gonna work for us? No, it's not. So I don't know if like I need to change the engine. I could try one of the betas. That seems like it's more advanced, possibly. Go for the beta. Just gotta restart Steam. Now, some of these are now updating. I don't know if it's because now we have room or what. But these are updating now. It could be because of the new Proton engine I installed. Probably shouldn't have uninstalled all the games that weren't working. But even if these are the only ones that... Oh, actually, these are just the ones that didn't finish. Okay. So not a big deal if suddenly it starts working because I don't have a problem with things working. I have a problem with things not working. So if I need to download more games to test more, whatever. So we're on a different Proton engine now. Yeah, same thing. Let's try World of War with the same thing. Nope. Crisis. Nope, it won't do anything. And I think this might just because I'm on 32-bit. Like, that might just be it. And that's the only reason. However, some of these games, you can have a 32-bit version of Windows. So I don't know what's happening. But this just might not be the best setup for the Mac Pro. I might have to totally reinstall Linux using the EFI thing. Or maybe I can just install 64-bit Linux and it'll just work. I don't know how I'm going to do that because... every disk that I had that was 64-bit was not working. Well, I did have the CD 64-bit version of Ubuntu. I could start from that and then do another upgrade fest for 5 hours and then try this all over again, which I'm probably going to do because this isn't working. Turns out I can't read again. This little box here, although it seems to have an effect, like I'll change this, stuff will start downloading. I need to restart Steam, even though this checkbox is not checked. This checkbox seems to control this drop-down menu, but it seems to already have an effect without me checking it, so you can sort of understand why I wasn't surprised that, things were working. So, okay, well, it says I need to restart Steam again. Okay, so I'll need to download another 2 gigs of shit. Clicking the checkbox doesn't seem to have affected the other games now. It seems like it's just this. So let's try Black Ops again. Nope. World at War. Nope. Crisis again. Nope. Oh my god, fucking finish downloading. Nope. So, I know it's supposed to have at least a little bit better functionality than this. So I guess that's what I'll do. Since nothing works except the Linux games, I'm sad to say that this installation is going to be erased by 64-bit. We'll see if it works. I won't be filming that. We'll just cut to Steam on 64-bit Ubuntu if I can get there. So you remember this error from the failed MacBook OS install stuff? This is usually what happens when you put in some CD that it can't boot off of. This is immediately what happens when I tried to actually boot off of the CD, the 64-bit CD. So we can't go anywhere with it like that. I'm assuming I have to pre-install the operating system on another computer, switch out have it pre-installed 64-bit, and then switch out the EFI stuff. I'm not going to be doing that in this video, but I think we're done here. So yeah, it looks like the Proton engine is not quite ready to run everything right out of the box on 32-bit, so not a big deal. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of Linux games that are on the Steam store. A lot of your favorite games out there may actually be already ported or already were released with a Linux version. Like this one, for example. And as you can see, it runs perfectly fine. Although I will admit this one isn't very taxing, but I could go through a whole bunch of different games where I test all of them, but literally every one that's been designed for the platform so far has worked perfectly. I went through and tested a couple more games to see if, hey, are they working okay? Yeah. I only had one weird crash with Super Meat Boy on the main menu, but other than that, it's been pretty solid. Of course, this machine can't really run everything, and more badass games like Everspace don't even install themselves. They just install themselves as an icon, and that's it. So I have a lot to learn about Linux, but this seems to have 99% of the legwork done for me. Steam on Linux works great, even though it's not. I don't think it's all totally finished yet, but I mean it is. It's definitely there. It's definitely. I'd say it's feature complete at this point. It looks great, and I'm surprised of how well all this works on literally 10-year-old hardware. So I'm very impressed. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.